So I remember it was really cold that day.
Yeah. And you had some new wool mitts.
Yeah. The one thing that I always think of every time it's like really poor weather is just that, like, I don't know, it makes me feel good because I'm like, yeah, I'm not a fair weather cyclist. Like, I feel like one of like a handful of people, you know, like you see people when you ride and stuff, and you see them every day, and you're like, yeah, you and me, we know what it's like. We ride in the cold.
Yeah. And you got a nice little hill here to start off.
Yeah, it's nice coasting down. Coming back home from work is brutal though.
Yeah.
Because this part kills me because it's really, it's like really gentle, but it's right after a really steep hill.
Mm.
So you just finish this steep hill and you have to like still cruise up this.
Yeah. You just sort of flow right into traffic.
Yeah. I did that a lot. I did that pretty much everywhere.
Yeah.
And then this hill makes me cry every single time. My eyes just water.
Yeah.
I also, in this neighborhood, I always feel like everyone probably sees me as like a UBC student or something, going the wrong way, because I like, nobody else bikes, you know? I feel like I look like a student.
Yeah. Like you kind of stick out a little bit?
Yeah. I try to have certain things that like I can't, that I don't modify that make me safer. Like for example, I only have one helmet. It's like this ridiculous lime green one because that way I have to wear it, and so I have to have one part of me be visible.
Yeah.
And I like have my light is like screwed onto my bike, so I can't take it off, and nobody else can. It's just like it's there, and so I have to use it. And I sort of have to make myself like have those controls in place so that I become just a safer person in general, because I feel like my habits are very poor, and so I have to have, you know, and so I think things like that make me a less dangerous cyclist. And this is actually something new that I've started to do probably in the past year, is take left turns like a car, as opposed to getting up to the intersection, crossing like a pedestrian both times, and then turning. I've just sort of gotten more comfortable with riding and with doing that, and just shoulder check, go.
Yeah.
Biking is transportation for me. It's a lot less about like pleasure. It's a lot less about like recreation. It's a lot less about like exercise. It's just, it gets me point A to B.
Yeah.
Like I find on the weekends I don't go for a bike ride because why would I? I'm like 2 hours a day, you know. But it's definitely occurred to me that when you ride this much, you sort of playing the probabilities game. Like you can be as safe as you want, but when you ride 2 hours a day, you know, it's been a year, no accidents.
So knowing that once you get onto 10th here, that you're on here for, you know, a good
yeah, my mind just,
10
I just zoned
kilometers.
out. I'm like right now I've just checked out. I'm
Yeah.
like biking, like, usually around here is when I start singing to myself.
Someone who bikes rain or shine, how does a day like this compare to, you know, a rainy day in terms of your experience?
I've noticed that rainy days, if it's just like drizzling, I really don't mind. I don't even put on rain gear because I know I'm going to be changed at work.
Yeah.
And I know I'm going to be warm. But the days when it's really pouring, it takes like every ounce of everything I've got to get on my bike. I really like my new bike because I feel like I've got a lot of control on it. I know exactly what I'm doing, and I know how it feels, I know how it rides, and every little sound, I know what's going on with it, and I feel like I really like that feeling of control. Like, yeah, I'm taking risks, but still in control. And I love passing people.
Yeah, we pass a lot of people in this video. Why do you like passing people?
I don't know. Even if you're not a competitive person or anything, passing someone gives you like that tiny bit of adrenaline. And it's not like I try to do that, but I think that sort of happens when you pass someone. Like,
Yeah.
I'm faster than you.
Yeah.
Especially like all these like sort of like middle-aged dudes with their tricked out bikes. I'm like, Yep, I weigh half as much as you and I'm faster. Get behind me.
So do you get extra enjoyment out of passing?
Kind of.
Passing them?
Passing those guys, yeah.
Were you hoping your wool mitts were going to keep you warmer than they did?
No, they were actually really good.
Yeah. So no like specialty bike gloves for you?
Like a lot of my gear isn't actually bike gear.
Yeah.
Like I'm wearing like yoga pants, wool socks.
Why? Because you don't feel like you need the...
No, I mostly like when I get off my bike, not looking like I just biked somewhere.
Mm.
And it always gets like super sketchy around here. There's like people pulling in and out of there.
Around the hospital?
Yeah.
So does that change the way that you ride through this area?
I'm just a lot more cautious. If there's anything going on, like if anybody's stopped or whatever, the cars back up like all the way up the street to move.
So what do you do when that happens?
I just pass all the cars on either side. I don't really care.
Yeah.
Probably contribute to the problem. And there's a lot of pedestrians here too, and they tend to have the same attitude as me. Like, I'm just gonna go. You damn well better stop. So, I usually stop for pedestrians. And I really like this hill because it's just like a really slow, gradual uphill. And it's just like, this is like the workout of my ride because I just like book it up here.
Yeah.
I get a lot of enjoyment out of biking up this hill.
So how's your body feeling on this long climb?
I really like hills also just because like I'm pretty strong in general, but it's the one thing that like I don't know, it's still like my muscles are like aching as I'm going up, you know? You like start to feel it burn a little bit. Oh, he's passing me. I swear I'm not even really competitive. I just like I really like passing people.
How does it feel to get passed?
Not so good.
Yeah. How is it different being on a bikeway like this as opposed to being on a regular street? Does it feel different?
Yeah, totally. I feel like I have like a right to be here, and so like the stuff that I do is like I don't know. I just feel like it's more accepted to act a bit more like a cyclist here. If I like semi-yield at stop signs, or if I'm biking in the middle of the road, and I feel like before people head into their cars, they sort of check and see if they're going to door you and stuff.
So you sort of have a more legitimate claim to the space then?
Yeah, and to like my bad habits, I feel.
Yeah, you call them bad habits, but you seem to enjoy.
Yeah.
to enjoy it, right?
Yeah. I know they're gonna get me in trouble someday, you know?
Yeah. Can you tell me about a negative experience that you've had while on your cycle commute?
I got hit by a car once, but that was a couple years ago. And I got thrown off my bike into the intersection. It totally T-boned me, and so it just like hit my entire body and I just went flying. And I kind of sat there for a couple seconds just like taking inventory, making sure everything was okay. I was just like really bruised and really shaken up. And the guy who hit me in his truck sort of came out and was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, like I biked too, like what it's like, blah, blah." But I was just really shaken up, and I just wanted to like leave the situation. So I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine. Like, don't worry about me. We're good." Mm-hmm. That's probably the worst thing that's happened to me on my bike ride.
And what kind of effect did that have on you beyond the initial sort of shock of getting hit?
I don't know. It didn't like it didn't make me change my mind about biking or anything, but it just kind of like you realize that you're not invincible, and you realize that you're not in a car. You know, you're not protected by anything. I don't go very fast downhills. Like I'm braking the whole way. I don't enjoy like speed. Like this hill's really long, but you'll notice the cars are really like it's pretty narrow. And I'm always afraid of getting like doored on this hill. I just tend to not take it very fast. I like this hill a lot in like the spring and summer because the cherry blossoms bloom and you just have this kind of like this like lacy ceiling thing over you. It's kind of cool.
Yeah. What do you get out of cycling to work every day?
Actually, I find more I just have access to like being outdoors. Like I'm a lot more in tune with like seasons and weather and stuff. you know, I see this every day. If it's raining, like I feel it. I like the days, the like day that all the trees blossom. Like I know about it.
Yeah.
And I get to experience that a lot more, I think, than a lot of people. I don't know. It's just one of the things I appreciate about it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, in the fall when like everything turns like orange and yellow and stuff.
How does this sort of benefit that you get from cycling, how does that compare to a day when you do have to take your car?
I find there's a lot less distance between work and home when I drive. Because like, just, I don't know, there's no like, for example, when I get in from biking, I change. And so there's like that extra moment of like centering, getting into work mode. And then when I'm leaving, it's the same thing. It's like, oh, I'm gonna take it to my crazy bike tights and bike home, you know, actually be myself as opposed to being this poser that I am at work. And when I'm driving, I'm like, it just feels weird to get into work clothes at home and like get in my car and drive to work. Like I just feel like one of the herd for some reason. It just feels weird to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not trying really hard to be different. I just feel like I sort of am, and so I might as well just work it.
Yeah.
Like I feel like biking to work is multitasking.
Yeah.
It's like me time, it's workout time, it's getting to work. I actually, I drove to work one morning and I usually take 12 to work, and traffic was like really, really slow ahead of me, like it was almost stopped, and it turns out when I finally managed to like inch my way up there, there was a girl like lying on the ground. Basically there'd just been a bike accident, and it was just like this totally like visceral reaction. I was just like, holy crap, that could be me. And I know nothing about this girl and nothing about what she was doing or where she was going or whatever, but it was just like that instinctive connection of like, yesterday that was me, and that could have been me. Tomorrow that could be, you know? I really just don't stop, ever. Wow. It's a good thing I don't drive like a bike.
Does that surprise you to see this?
Kind of. I haven't stopped the entire ride. I stopped at like a handful of red lights, that's it.
Only when it's absolutely necessary.
I think it kind of just shocks me how much I'm expected to stop. Like, I know that I don't stop, but it's just like, I guess I'm just seeing all the stop signs for the first time. And there's one old man that I see every single day walking while I'm here. Every single, like without fail. He's like really, really old. He's got headphones on. He just walks. And I think there's a factory here that makes like cookies or pastries or something. So it usually smells very pastry-y in the morning. Which is pretty brutal. Because I don't have breakfast before I bike.
Oh,
so
no.
I'm like starving.
So it makes you hungry?
Really?
Faster?
Yeah. There in the evenings when there's a lot of cars, nobody stops for you. There he is. I love him. He's so cute. He looks Italian or something. He's a little beret on.
Do you guys like nod at each other or
No,
something?
he's never acknowledged my presence, but I see him every day. Like, we make eye contact.
Good.
I know that he sees me ride by and that he sees me every day, but near the roads.
Yeah.
Like there's a bike on there. Nobody pays attention to it, but at least I know I'm supposed to be there. And people drive really close to me on this street. Because there literally isn't enough room for a car and a bike. There's no shoulder, and so they'll like just barely pass me. And this hill kind of kills me sometimes. Not even very steep or very long. It's just like, okay, I'm done. Oh, I've also noticed that I tend not to like stand up on my bike when I go up hills, and that's totally a leftover thing from when my sister and I were kids. We used to like dare each other to go up hills without standing.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I can't. I just still do it.